Well, let's spend just a little time. Let me recap chapter 10 of Tom Rainier's book, Autopsy of a Deceased Church. And this chapter has to deal with the church had no clear purpose. They didn't understand. A couple of pages into it, I want to skip the first couple of pages. They referred to the last 10 years, and there's some bullet points. It says, we were going through the motions. A lot of churches that are dying become plastic. And what I mean by plastic is they sound genuine, but they're really plastic. I remember a pastor that I once knew, and he was just like plastic. He kind of looked through you. He looked past you. He went through all the motions, all the nice things, said all the right things. They said everything we did seemed to be like we were in a rut or a bad routine. We became more attached to our ways of doing church than we did asking the Lord what He wanted us to do. And we were playing a game called church. I'd hate to think that we were playing church, but that is a good analysis of what happens to a lot of places. He said, do you get the picture? The church was not really a church. It had no purpose. None of the members talked about fulfilling the Great Commission. None of the members spoke about carrying out the Great Commandment in the church. None ever came close to speaking with a burning passion about making a difference in their community. I wonder if that's true for any of you that are listening to this. Any of you sitting in your small group right now, your 2020 vision group. When was the last time that you invited somebody to come to Lutheran Church of the Master? When was the last time that you really persuaded people, I need you to come meet Jesus, or to offer a prayer with them, for them? He goes on to the next page. He says that when he said the church understood its purpose, he's talking about the church at Philippi, and he said they were to live the gospel. They were to proclaim the gospel. And that's still our call today. We're here for a reason. It's not for feel good. It's not for comfortability. It's not for expediency. Our job, our purpose here is to let this, if nothing else, this quadrant, this northeast quadrant of Brooklyn Center, know that we're here. I know there's other churches in this northeast quadrant. Vertical Life is right up the road, and the Good Shepherd Fellowship is right here in the corner. But I can't deal with them. I need to deal with us. We need to deal with our church. We need to let this northeast corner of the city know that we're alive and well. And they need to meet Jesus, because Jesus is preached here. He says on that last page before the prayer commitment, he said, attitude shifted from gospel-centered and other-centered to self-centered. An outward focus became an inward obsession. A church without a gospel-centered purpose is no longer a church at all. Here's my little quote. I've said this before. When the preferences of the church members are greater than their passion for the gospel, the church is dying. Spend some time talking about that part of the death cycle. If it talks about us, we're reliant on somehow the gospel getting out there, people being invited to come worship the Jesus Christ, our Lord and King. We're not quite sure how that's happening, though, or whether we can count on each other to make it happen. Would you spend some time talking with each other?